Hello everyone, it's Jen here, and today as I'm recording this, I am standing just outside of the sacred grounds of the Sri Shakti Narayani Temple in Sri Puram, India. The air here is totally alive with devotion, the sound of chanting, I don't know if it will pick up on the recording, the scent of incense, that feeling of stillness that seems to reach right down into your heart. It's a place that really draws you inwards towards something that is ancient and profoundly loving. So in this episode of the Psychotherapy Central podcast, I'm joined by my dear friends, Kristy, Ismay, and Irina, Gladushchenko, as we share with you what it's like to come here to Sri Shakti Amma's temple on a spiritual retreat. So in this conversation, we explore what makes retreat such a powerful catalyst for transformation, how stepping away from the noise of daily life allows something much deeper and different to unfold. So whether you've traveled to India before or you're simply curious about the pull of spiritual retreat, my hope is that this episode inspires and awakens your curiosity about India, and that you'll consider joining us here in March 2026. So take a deep breath, exhale, and let's begin. Welcome to Psychotherapy Central, where we explore love, attachment, trauma, and the path to secure, connected relationships. I'm your host, Jennifer Nurick. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Psychotherapy Central podcast. Today, I have two very exciting guests, Irina and Kristy, and we're going to be talking about something that we are all super excited about, and that is our retreat to India next year, 2026, in March. So a few years ago, I was going to India. I do an annual pilgrimage to see Sri Shakti Narayani Amma in India. And Irina called me and said, Jen, I think I would love to come. How would you feel if Kristy and I come with you? And I was like, awesome, that'll be great. We'll have so much fun. So we went off, the three of us, and we had the most amazing time together. And while we were on that trip, we really felt like it'd be lovely to bring a group together and just see what happens. And we have led one retreat together, three of us. Was it last year? Geez, feels longer ago. Last year, November, which was, I'd say a highlight of my life. It was, every time I go is really a highlight and a battery recharge. So we thought we would come on today and just let you know about what happens in India, what happens in this special sacred place, what pins do we get stuck while trying to get saris on, and what do we eat, and all of those weird and wonderful things that you might think about when you think about India. First up, let me introduce Irina. Irina is a leadership and management trainer and a co-lead teacher of the energetic health faculty at Nature Care College. She is an awesome mentor, an international retreat facilitator, and one of the directors of the IEHA, which stands for the International Energetic Healing Association. And she is also a very proud mother and grandmother. So thanks for being here, Irina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And beautiful Kristy. Kristy has served as president and currently serves as the global accreditation manager of the IEHA. And she balances this with her intuitive energy healing business and teaching also at Nature Care College. Kristy also finds immense joy and fulfillment in shopping, but also in being a devoted mother to 3 boys.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thank you for taking
special.
It is. Thank you so much for taking the time. And yeah, let's jump into it. So we've got a few questions planned and we'll just kind of see where we go. So first thing we were thinking about is what first drew us to Sri Shakti Narayani Amma and this place in the middle of South India, where I've been going for about 10 years. I had the very good fortune of being brought sort of through a chain of Amma's long-term devotees. So there were some of Amma's devotees who knew Amma before there was a temple, before there was a star path. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see behind Irina, she has the beautiful golden temple. And behind me, I have the star path. And that's a mandala, essentially, that you can walk around every day. And it's a very beautiful place to be. We'll talk about that more. But before any of that existed, and these friends of mine would sit with Amma, and Amma would talk about, oh, there will be a golden temple, and here there will be a star path, and here there will be a school, and here there will be a hospital. And some of the people thought, okay, I hope that all happens. Like, it seems like a lot, like at the time it was just kind of not a lot growing there, really not much there. And there was not a lot of abundance around. And so everyone thought, okay, well, let's see. And in a very short time, there is a lot of good work that is being done in the temples. And we'll talk more about this. There's sort of a service arm in the temples, and there is very much kind of a spiritual arm, and they very much kind of support each other. We'll come to it. So, okay, we thought we might all share a moment or an experience from our time in India that's had a very deep impact on us. So, Kristy, do you want to go first?
Yeah, for sure. Thinking about this question, I think there's been so many moments, and choosing just one is quite difficult. Beautiful moments, the fire pujas, walking the star path barefoot, that has a real calling to it. Like, I can't wait to go back and just get my bare feet on that star path. Visiting Amma's home, tuk-tuk rides to get our saris made, the Divine Cafe and our little chats. But one of them was a really magical experience, and we were up and we were guided into the star path at 4 a.m. in the morning. So it was quite dark. It was just us. There's no crowds. And we entered the temple grounds, and part of it was to do the awakening of the temples. So they go around and they chant and they waken up the temples. But when we first walked in, there was this beautiful elephant waiting for us. We had an elephant blessing. We got to carry the blessed water around, and just the glow of the golden temple, which looked like it was made of pure, like living light. And you can see it in Irina's background, but there was just something about it. You can't, it's a felt thing, you can't explain it. But yeah, I remember that being one of the beautiful experiences that I had, and I'll never forget it. It was special. I felt fully alive and whole in that moment. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. And Irina, how about you?
I think mine is a bit more kind of heavier, the contrast to Kristy's lightness, but it's India, right? So that's the contrast for you. And when I thought about the moment, reflected back, it was the day when we met a boy, and the boy had quite a dramatic accident. So we met him and his dad, and we were trying to run for the boy after the boy and offer him money, the sponsorship, whatever. And he was very proud, and he would not take anything other than a special mosquito patches, which I must have in India. But we were all very sad for the boy, and I remember feeling like my heart breaking and feeling a sense of hopelessness, complete hopelessness. And that later that night we were called to Amma's house, and I never spoke to Amma before, so it was my first time. And I had this urge and a voice coming out and say, Amma, can I share something? And she says yes. And I've told her briefly, and she was saying, Amma will take care. And I felt that sense of surrender that I've never felt before. It was such a potent moment and such a profound learning in my heart. I know that the boy will be looked after as well on a human level.
Yeah, very beautiful. Thank you. There are, same as you, Kristy, there are just so many moments. How do you choose one? I think first up, I feel deeply moved every time there is a very big event and Amma will come into the space. So I'm thinking actually of an inauguration of a Dan Van Tre shrine that we were there for. So Dan Van Tre in Hinduism is the form of the divine that created Ayurveda, so Indian style medicine essentially. And there were hundreds of people everywhere. This is a temple consecration in India. And so there's flowers and there's drums and there's bells and it's kind of all happening. And it's in the middle of a hospital and it's kind of chaotic. And Amma, after she had done the consecration and the blessing had happened, she then sat down on a chair and every single person in the crowd came forward to receive blessed water. And she would smile and everyone would receive the, and I thought we will be here for hours. There's so many people here. And just so graciously, just sits and gives and sits and gives. And it's that essence of feeding people. Because what happens in that transference of the water is that it's a vibrational, it's like kind of getting the perfect medicine for your vibrational resonance at that moment as an offering. And so it's kind of, they call it prasad, but like kind of blessed, it's called tirtam. Prasad is the food, but yeah, it's just that that gift and the graciousness that's there. The other moment that really stands out to me was on my first visit. So in the middle of the star path, right in the middle there is a huge Lakshmi statue, and she's made in a black stone, and the black stone absorbs all of the mantras that happen all day. And it literally happens all day. There's just mantras and mantras and mantras. And the stone is absorbing. So it becomes like a battery and it radiates energy. And the first time I sat in the middle of that and connected with that energy, I had this very quick, expansive, just merging into everything. This sense of dissolving, my form dissolving and being completely expanded. And I knew that I was somewhere very, very special. And I find that for me and my energy field, being in that this temple complex where so much spiritual practice happens, it's like the astral field is much clearer. And so for me personally, when I sit to meditate in that place, it's just much stronger. And that's something that I really treasure. I find that the spiritual practice I'm able to do is just more and easier there. And sometimes even when I'm at home, I will imagine myself at certain places there, and I sit and meditate there and in Sydney.
I love that.
I just use it as like a resource, to kind of help boost my practice here. Okay, next question. What does this journey mean to you personally as a facilitator and spiritual seeker? Irina, do you want to start with that one?
Well, so it's the co-creation is the key word for me. That's kind of where my calling, my spiritual calling comes, and seeing what is happening, in Sri Puram and around all the projects. So it's co-creation in its purest form, co-creating with nature, co-creating with, I don't know how many thousand millions of people, kind of all aiming to connect, to do to create, to co-create that place on earth where we could be with the divine as much as we can, if it makes sense. I don't know if it came out the right way, but it's it's just magic of co-creation in its purest form. I also noticed something, Jen, on with your profile. For those who can't see, I just do a bit of a transcription here. So Jen is wearing a beautiful medallion, which is Amma's medallion, and it becomes the end of the triangle of the lower triangle of the path. And you had in the middle, just where you felt that formless.
Yeah. Right, it does, doesn't it? It goes down like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So proportional.
So for me personally, this journey is always twofold. There's always something that feels deeply personal. That's a bit like, for me, it's a bit like recharging for the year and gives me Shakti, to use another Vedic word, but gives me the energy, the life force to really come back and engage with my more earthly life at a different vibration. And I really deeply value that. And then the other part is being of service and holding other people while they get to have fun there, because there's so much of it that is new and different, but is also super fun. Like the food and the people are so warm. The number of times that we've been, there's a parade going on and everyone says, "Oh, come join us," and then they give us prasad to carry, and the next thing we've got milk and prasad, and next thing we're kind of washing elephants. So lots of things can happen that are a big surprise. And I often think that some of the experiences are almost orchestrated to touch us exactly where it is for something alchemical to happen inside of us, like Irina and the boy, that sometimes there is just a seeing of something or someone that is deeply moving. So yeah, I just love it. It's my second home. So it's like going home. And Amma will often say, welcome home. Hey, Irina, what do you think makes this retreat different from others? And what could participants expect to experience on a soul level? That's a big question.
It's a big question. 2 or 3 questions in one. But I just love that the fusion, the point of difference is, I feel, not applicable to our retreats altogether, right? It's the fusion of the different points and the alchemy of it, making it all count and make it all present at the same time. So it's the deepest of the deep, living, practicing spirituality, plus an enormous leadership. So I haven't witnessed that honest and visionary, in a day-to-day life. Yes, there are, the people that are my icons and stuff, but here as a living, it's a living, it's happening in front of our eyes. So we just heard that a new meditation hall has been built while we were away, so we can't wait to go there, because the acoustic there sounds incredible. So it's all these things that kind of don't come together, but they come beautifully together, alchemize amazingly in the space, and that's what I love. So the trees, planting of the trees, getting your hands dirty, then going and having Ayurvedic consult where the doctor just said, "Oh, you just need to lighten up a bit. So you're here, just lighten up." And then you lighten up automatically as they were pressing the button in you. Or and then the schools, being invited to participate in the schools concert, or preparing for the big festivity like full moon or new moon. I think we will have a new moon and a little bit more celebrations in during our. So it's all the different points coming together. No competition with anyone, just us bringing our favorite beats together for you.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Kristy, if someone was thinking, okay, so what would I be doing on a day-to-day basis? Like, what would it normally look like? And what about it might be quite surprising that they might not be expecting?
What might be surprising is that at any moment, the plans can change. So we do have a plan and we map it out. We have all these beautiful things, but sometimes our plan is not Amma's plan, but Amma has the most amazing, beautiful flow and it all works and something new pops in. But basically, on a day to day, you can always guarantee we'll have beautiful chats in the Divine Cafe. We'll walk around the star path barefooted. There might be a beautiful fire puja, group connection time, treatments. Oh, the list is endless. It's every day. Yeah, it's so special. Yeah. What else have I forgotten that we can add to that?
Shopping, I'm shocked.
Oh, yeah. I will be getting my little toot-toot for anyone that wants to join me and traveling into the nearest city. Yes, I like my saris and my shopping and yeah, it's definitely a little highlight of my trip.
Yeah, it is because you walk into a shop in India and there's no item that is the same.
The
Every single
colors.
sari is unique. Every color combination, every pattern is unique. And it I think I didn't really realize how we walk into a shop in the West and you have the same item and then you have it in 8 different sizes. And in any one shop, maybe you have 30 or 50 different things. But I mean, these stores, especially the ones in Chennai and Bangalore, they will have 6 or 7 different levels. And there might be 3 different levels of saris, and all of the saris are completely different, starting from $10 for a sari to $2,000 for a sari. And that in itself is quite an experience, just going to see that. But if you're thinking about, oh, what do I wear? What does that look like? We do a whole debrief around that and we'll help you with what you have at home, put together a kind of a wardrobe that will take you through the first 3 or 4 days. And then we'll take you shopping so that you can get a few items that for special events when we're in the temple.
I'm giggling too because I remember one of my first trips, the very first time we all went together, and I brought this beautiful fabric to get a sari made. And we're running around trying to find a tailor, and no one knew what we were speaking about. And we learned later that they call them stitches. I was like, how can there be so many beautiful saris and no one to make them? Yeah, they're gorgeous.
What about that? Yeah, stitches.
Mm.
Fun.
Mm.
Hey, and just so what else might be happening during the day? So you have three.
Acts of service.
Yeah, yep. Do you want to chat about that, the service?
Yeah, we try to incorporate what we call acts of service, and they could look like things like going to the primary school and feeding the kids their breakfast. So they make this beautiful Vedic, well, I call it medicine, but it's a porridge. For the kids to have before school and just seeing their little faces light up and they have an opportunity to practice their English with you as they walk in, which is really gorgeous. The tree planting, I love that. We do that every year we go. Um, what else do we do over there?
Yeah, those are the main ones.
Mm.
School.
Buffeting, the food hall as well.
Oh yeah, I like that one. I like the food hall. It's super cute in the food hall because often there are people who are working rurally in the area and many of them have never seen a white person before. And a few times when I've been pouring the water, a few of the kids have kind of touched my skin just to kind of feel it. And it's a lovely way to have an interaction with a lot of local people who some of them have driven, they're coming on buses, and often the village will save up for a while and they will combine their funds. They'll come in on a bus, maybe 5 or 6 hours or longer. They'll come quite a long way, and yeah, they spending most of their time just living rurally. So big experience for them, and yeah, we would never get to meet them otherwise. Yeah. And just to see the enormity of the feeding that happens, I think that there's over 5,000 people a day that are fed in Anadharma. It's a lot of people coming through. And just to see it on the banana leaves and the food and the water coming in, it's amazing. And they're all fed for free. Okay, so what are some of the healing practices or spiritual practices that you'll be learning? So we'll be teaching you some mantras, and there'll be some mantras that you'll be able to take home with you. The way we'll be teaching you the way that mantra works, the benefits of using a mantra, especially a mantra that has been given to you. We'll be learning puja and what a puja is. I couldn't have told you, 15 years ago, what is a puja? That sounds like a bizarre word. Now I know a lot about puja, way more than I thought I ever would. You never know what direction life's going to take you in. And Amma does quite a few different styles of puja, and usually we're just there absorbing the energy of the ritual. And some people I've seen become very curious and really resonate with the pujas and really take those on at home and become a very big part of their self-regulation practice. You'll be learning a lot about different the Vedic tradition and different rituals, about Hinduism. And we thought between the three of us, we'd love to teach you about the chakra system. And that's the energy centers, the 7 major energy centers in the body. And we'd love to teach you as well about how to kind of clean those, how to have energetic hygiene, how to take care of your energy body, and how that benefits you, especially with staying resilient, staying energized, helping to shift things like depression and anxiety. It can be super helpful. Irina, if people are kind of new to spiritual travel and group healing, how do you see us supporting them?
So through the tools, as you've mentioned, and so just with a mantra, back to the mantra point, what I found my experience was when we first came, it was that weird experience when you don't sing the mantra, but mantra sings you. And I remember that took quite a bit of kind of the brain can't comprehend it, right? But the body does, and body loves it. And then so that the grounding is super important. So I'm always there so if I kneel in front of you and place my hands on your foot chakras, I'm helping to to ground, but I will ask permission, of course. So so anything that is required, we are there for you. That's all three of us. We have different styles and different backgrounds as a healers, but yeah, we're there. That's the most important thing. You don't feel alone in that big experience, in this big wave called Amma and Sri Puram.
And Kristy, who do you feel that this retreat is really for, and what kind of transformation do you think is possible?
Yeah, I like that question. So I think the retreat is for anyone, any soul that feels the calling, people that have been longing for connection to themselves, to spirit, and to others, for seekers, for sensitives, for burnt out healers, the curious beginners. And transformation does look different for everyone, but most walk away with renewed clarity, deep peace, and a reawakened heart. So transformation is different for everyone. It's an individual experience, but you'll definitely be there. And we've got this beautiful team that will hold you. The grounds hold you. Amma holds you. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward. But yeah, it's for anyone that feels the calling.
I noticed lots of people walking away just feeling so much softer. It's like they arrive a little bit like, because everyone's kind of just busy doing the thing, and a little bit kind of shoulders up. And I find when people leave, there's this kind of, no, they're coming to the airport and maybe they're a little bit late, but there's this feeling of it will all be okay. And then people just feel a bit softer, just a bit more spacious inside of themselves. That's the feeling.
And I think when you leave the noise and the busyness and the routine, and you're just on this earth that it just holds you in this, I've come home many times and just felt like it's this overwhelming sense of love from the people, from the land. There's just this love and I can't explain it. And that just tops you right up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then some people have asked kind of like, well, why would people come on a retreat like this? And so we've just mentioned part of why you might come is I just need something different. I'm feeling a bit burnt out. I need to re-energize. It could be that you're struggling with something specific, like some depression or anxiety, and kind of feeling like I need to do something different because what I'm doing at the moment is just not working for me. Could be around creativity and helping that flow. I see a lot of people come who are in a life transition. So maybe they've lost a partner or they've separated or something has happened that's been quite a shock and they're just feeling like they need some kind of support in some way. So, I mean, I went to see Amma when my father passed away. Because I wanted to have time to really integrate what had happened and spend time in the inner world with my dad. And I knew that if I stayed at home, I would kind of end up taking care of the kids and making dinner and doing the washing. And whilst that's my dharma and that's my role, and I totally accept that, it also felt appropriate after having 38-ish years with my dad that there be time and I felt that I felt a calling actually to kind of help his transition in any way that I could, and I knew that the best way that I could do that is in that space. And being cooked for me, and I have some friends who live there, and I just knew that there would be this lovely container that I could come to. And deep down, my hope for everybody that comes is that they have the same feeling, that it's a place that they could come to if they were struggling in any way or they needed some holding. Because once you've come on a retreat like this and you've been around and you know how it all works, it's then quite easy to come on your own if you feel to. And so part of the reason why we want to run these retreats is that you walk away feeling, okay, I know where the Divine Cafe is. I know what time that puja is. I know how it all works. I've met some of the other people who live in the ashram and I feel safe and confident to come again. Or even just come again like I do when you feel like meditating and you just want to go to the Golden Temple in your mind and you just, part of you there and part of you's in Albania or Sydney or the UK or wherever you are.
And I was so surprised, like when the first time that I went, coming back for a second time and running into people that I had met the first time. And because you make such beautiful connections and you think, oh, you won't see them again. But yeah, you kind of come and reconnect in the space. It's nice.
Yeah. And I often feel like that's kind of a bit of a meant to be thing, because sometimes I'll bump into people a year later who haven't been in the year that I haven't been either. And we've both come on exactly the same week. And so I do feel like there's a bit of almost like divine orchestration around that sometimes. Yeah.
And Kristy, wasn't just people you were coming back to.
Yeah. I met a little puppy the first time and I was really worried about this puppy and I just prayed that we could take it back to outside Camilla and Neva's because there was a couple of dogs out the front. So Camilla and Neva's is the accommodation, which I have as my backdrop. And I found out later after I'd left that someone had taken him back there and they were looking after him. I was taking care. And then so when I journeyed back, I just was hoping that I would see this puppy again. And we think we found him on our very last night. So yeah, special connection.
So in that theme of community, what kind of community do we aim to co-create on the retreat? Kristy?
It's always for me, it's like a community that is light and bright and easy and things flow, people that, are heart-centered and soul-oriented. And I know like when we're in that community, we laugh, but we also cry. So there's that equal amount of laughing, but then also holding space and processing. No one's left behind. No one's at different levels. We're just there together. And I really liked that unity and the community that we formed. And I remember when we took the last group and we walked, and one of my other favorite memories is we just took a seat on the grass and we did some yoga, you know, some stretching and some chatting and yeah, connecting. So yeah, it's a little community of people that are connecting and are open. Yeah.
And if there's someone who's listening and part of them is kind of going, oh, I'd really love to do that, but then there's this other part that's saying, oh, is this too much for me, or I'm not spiritual enough, what would you say to them, Kristy?
Well, it's listening to what's underneath the fear, because usually it's like the fear, but the whispers underneath are that soul. So it's the soul speaking. And if I was to go back into put on my energetic healing hat, you know, to find out whether it's for you or not, I would tell them to stand with their feet apart and just think about the place, put their hands on and think about what we've spoken about. And if they've drawn in, it's a yes. And if they go back, it's a maybe not this time, you know. That's really cute. But basically, if you hear it and it lights you up or you're curious about it, I always would say, why not? I remember I had a girlfriend and I showed her the picture of the golden temple. It's actually plated with real gold. So it's the picture behind Irina. And she looked at the picture and she burst into tears. And I was like, you okay? Like, what's up? And it was just something came over her, just the image. And, you know, behind it, she goes, I know I need to go there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, one day you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This
So,
gives
but
me
also reach
goosebumps, this
out.
story.
Yeah. Reach out and ask questions. If you're not sure about it, what is it that is, you know, you're not sure about it? Is there something that we can answer? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And feel free to contact either of us. And we have a contact, an area to contact on the website, which is in the show notes. But it's called the Divine Radiance Path of Light Retreat. But the link's in the show notes and you can contact us through there, and you can reach me through this channel, however you're listening, or through Instagram on psychotherapy.central. So, team, last but not least, what are our deepest hopes for those who choose to come with us? What are we wanting for them? You want to go first, Irina?
Yeah, so that's the Divine Radiance. Take that. But most importantly, I feel the lightness, introduce the lightness in your whole being, and reconnecting with your playfulness if you have been apart for a while, because that's so important to me, and it's a blessing.
And it's funny because as much as we talk about the ritual and the practice and the spiritual element, the retreat, it's just so much, it's so much fun, and we giggle a lot and we have great time connecting and speaking about things, and it's just this beautiful unfolding. And yeah. You know, they go back, like I know when I come home, I share all my stories and people can see how much it has lit me up being there, how connected I feel, how relaxed I am, how at ease. And that's what you want for everyone else to experience. And that's why you share it. That's why you speak about it. And you hope that they can experience that too.
I'm just thinking about the Abhyanga massage that they do at the Ayurvedic Center. So it's a massage where you get covered in oil and like covered in oil, but it has this like amazing scent, and it's made in this special way. And the purpose of the oil is they massage you with it on so that you absorb the oil, and it's nourishing. It really nourishes your body, and then you go into a steam. It actually
hot box.
It looks
steam
like
box
a chamber, but it is a steam hot box, and it has real coals. I love it. Some people are like, I love it. but it's very nurturing for the whole body, and I really think of it as a place of nourishment. And so my hope is that you leave feeling nourished and connected. And all of Amma's books are called Connect with the Divine, and it really is the divine within. And so that's my hope, is connection, nourishment, and lots of laughter.
And beautiful saris.
And beautiful.
And the elephant kisses.
And all our wraps.
Beautiful. So if you have any questions, if you just want to read a bit more about anything, head over to the website, Divine Radiance Path of Light Retreat. It's in the show notes. Thank you so much for staying with us till the end. If you're still listening, well done, because the stats on these things are now, most people don't make it past the first 5 minutes in general. So if you're here, we're very honored. And we would love you to come with us. Okay.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jen.
Thanks for coming on. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode. If you want to learn more about all things love, attachment, and trauma, I'd love to connect with you on Instagram at psychotherapy.central or visit my website at psychotherapycentral.health. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave a review and a 5-star rating. Your support means a lot, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.